Well, you read the title, let's get into it. I don't like reaction videos. Yeah, if some regular ass channel was saying that, you might say, I'm not surprised, or that's almost a common thing for YouTubers to say, but I've been doing them for quite some time. If you've never seen the channel, this has essentially been a reaction channel for a long time. Though, not by design. I'm gonna get into that. Most of this channel's success has been found through reactions to Centaur World, Husband Hotel, Dead End Paranormal Park, Steven Universe, and a bunch of cartoons that are fantastic, and I totally recommend everybody see all of those things on the list and watch lots of cartoons. And though in the history of this channel we've made a bunch of non-reaction videos as well, the reaction ones are usually the ones that do the best, and this is kind of baffling to me. As a content creator who's been doing reactions, am I saying that I don't like doing them, or I just don't like them in general and I hate them and I'm condemning and you're a bad person for liking them? Well, just keep watching. I will answer these questions. So, yes, I do reaction videos. We've been doing them for a long time, and I'm just going to start off by saying that I don't really watch reaction videos of any kind. We sort of found ourselves in this small niche in YouTube that are almost exclusively watching cartoons, or at least animated TV shows in general of some kind. And though I watch a lot of cartoons, a lot of anime, a lot of movies, I don't really watch reactions to any of those kinds of things. I do watch a lot of YouTube, and there are two reaction style creators that I do watch at times. One of them is the Corridor Crew, who do reactions to visual effects, and they're a bunch of digital VFX artists, and they kind of weigh in their expertise. They don't like watch a whole movie or anything, but they'll take clips that are recommended to them or that they choose themselves and do, you know, the reaction thing, but it's not as, they kind of title it as a reaction, but it's not really always a reaction. A lot of it tends to be more of just like a breakdown or an analysis, and they do watch it ahead of time, which qualifies it as a reaction, but it's not the same kind of reaction that we have found ourselves doing in this strange niche where you, like, you know, watch a YouTube video or a cartoon and you react to the whole thing with, like, maybe editing if you're one of the good ones, in my opinion. That was more shade than they're meant to be shade. I'm gonna explain more. The other kind of reactor that's closer to what I do is this guy Mars, who is a Super Smash Bros. Ultimate content creator who reacts to tournaments or clips from Super Smash Bros, and he's a pro player, so I love hearing his pro player insight and learning more about the game and the tech, because I love Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Shout out to my Super Smash Bros. Fans in the audience. If you're there, I main Ness. You can hate me for that later. So I do get reaction content in general. This isn't a video that's supposed to be, like, condemning people for liking them, especially not because that's the majority of our audience. It's still fun to see someone getting into what you're getting into or being shocked by something that you were shocked by, like in the cases of Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared, or that video game that people love watching reaction videos to. The horror video game, it's really popular on the internet. FNAF, I don't even remember what it stands for. But in general, that entails you rewatching something, and I don't actually really rewatch anything in general. I usually am kind of always circulating to new stuff. Right now I'm watching this anime Dungeon Meshi, and it's amazing. And once that's over, I'll probably end up watching Freren, something like that. But I just don't really enjoy watching other people watch the things that I've seen before, mostly because I just don't rewatch it anyway, and unless there's some expert that's talking about some technical brilliance to it, I don't really feel like I'm gaining anything from the experience, personally. This kind of causes problems for me as a creator because I don't actually know what people are expecting when they watch reaction videos, and I had to do, like, active research, which was weird because in my research there's a little part of me that truthfully doesn't understand. Like, I know I outlined the reason why I understand, but since I don't experience it that way, that's like an intellectual understanding. Emotionally, it doesn't make sense to me. And I mean, you know, maybe there's a good element to that because if I don't know about it, there's like a unique perspective. But besides all of that, the truth of the matter is I don't enjoy creating it because I don't enjoy watching it. If you've been following the channel, or if you even just want to look back at like any of our earlier videos, you'll know that my brother used to be part of the channel and we used to do reactions together. And that was more fun because at least I got the enjoyment out of watching it with somebody, which I'm sure a lot of people are watching the reaction for, right? You are effectively watching it with me when I watch it, and I get that. But since I don't do it that way, I'm essentially just watching it on my own, and when I'm not doing it with my brother, who clipped that out of context, I lose most of the fun part of the dynamic, and I don't really have anything to naturally react to, because part of my reaction is bouncing off of him. I don't really do any of that stuff if I'm watching something alone. I'm like playing it up, you know? It's not genuine anymore for me. And, you know, once you get caught up in the YouTube bullshit, it just makes you feel like you need to keep doing it in order to stay above like a certain financial threshold, or, you know, a certain analytic threshold, or whatever your metrics for success are. And it's really easy to lose track of what you actually want to be doing to keep up with these imaginary numbers. So just for a scope of how we got started, originally my brother and I didn't want to do reactions. We didn't even really know much about them because we never watched them. We were just covering cartoons in whatever basis. We were thinking of different ways and workshopping different ways in the early days of the YouTube channel. And then we did one reaction video to some new show that came out that never even got off the ground, and we got way more views than we got on any of our other projects. So we realized this is a formula that can work, so we kept bouncing around with other ideas, and then we covered Centaur World. And the Centaur World community, so much love to you guys, you're all the best. They came out in droves to watch this. I think part of it was because Centaur World's not a huge show, so there wasn't a lot of competition. There weren't that many people that were reacting to it, and thus, even still, we're one of the main YouTubers that shows up if you're looking for Centaur World reactions. And if you haven't seen that show, it's really good. It's hilarious and wild, and you should check it out. It used to be on Netflix, but if it's not anymore, you can find it on the internet for free. But anyway, after that happened, we kind of got into that loop of like, okay, we found, you know, you strike gold, you need to kind of capitalize on the audience that you're finding. That is how YouTube works, and it is wise to do that to a degree. We've built this audience, you know, we're not like rolling in money or anything like that. You know, I'm not saying that I'm some like huge, I don't even have a cute little plaque or anything like that. You know, we just cracked 10,000 subscribers not all that long ago. But even still, that was exciting, and it made us want to continue doing reaction content and, you know, launch from there. And such, we had great success with other shows. Steven Universe was one. Vox, The Legend of Vox Machina was one of them. Also really good. All the shows that we've covered are great. Except the audience for Arcane, y'all suck. The League of Legends community was toxic, who knew? Everybody. And I don't want to speak for my brother, but I will a little. Neither of us really thought our reaction videos were ever actually good. I mean, they take the least amount of time of anything that we did. We pretty much just hit record. The editing is super sparse unless I, like, try to, you know, actively inflate it up, which even when I do, it doesn't matter. So it's not like you're being rewarded for your creativity. In fact, I hate to say this, but in the time that we've been doing Hell of a Boss reactions, there was one time where I was just having a little angsty creator moment, and I got salty that usually you're just rewarded for being the first person to publish it, because everybody who sees the thing that they like just immediately hits the internet, and not everybody does this, but a lot of people do. And so if you want to really strike while the iron's hot for reaction content, with new content anyway, you usually need to upload it within 24 hours of when the original thing was dropped. If you're not one of the channels that hits in those first original 24 hours, you pretty much just get blindsided by how many other people are stacked with editing teams and they're full-time, they've got people to do stuff, they've got a whole system going on that's better than what you can do and hope to catch up. And so if you don't upload it quickly, it just won't get seen as much. So I did one, I don't even remember what episode it was, but I did one episode of Hell of a Boss where I actually just didn't edit it at all. I left it practically, maybe I cut like 2 things, but it was practically unedited so that I could just get it out really fast. And it proved my point. It was the highest view count we had on any of our Hell of a Boss reaction videos, simply because we got it out fast. And it was really discouraging for me and my brother, because it just made us feel like, wow, it really doesn't matter what we say or do. As long as the title says reaction, we get it out quickly, that's what's going to bring in the numbers. That's what's going to reward us as creators. And, yeah, kind of fuck that, am I right? So lately I've been making non-reaction content and feeling like they're actually really good videos. They're well thought out, I spent time editing them, they're a lot of fun, and I feel like I'm actually saying something while on screen, which for a lot of the reactions you don't really get to, because there's not enough time for you to sit there and reflect and make a mindful point. It's going in this new route with these different videos, and along with a couple of breaks that I had to take with making content because I was moving and I've got a bunch of other stuff going on in my life, our analytics have fallen off a little bit. The channel has gone gone down in viewership, and not even that long ago, I saw the most success that the channel had ever had. This was after riding the hype of Has Been Hotel when it was just released on Amazon Prime. We struck when the iron was hot, and I did some interesting videos, and one of the videos I'm the most proud of is the Has Been Hotel theory video that I did. The first one. The second one was pretty good too. But realistically, we now have an audience that mostly followed us for reaction videos, and the algorithm is always recommending us for our reaction videos. Also, I'm saying the royal we for this whole thing because my brother is in the picture in my head, even though he's not technically anymore because he was here for the majority of the time. Just clarifying that real quick. This is really unfortunate because YouTube has an algorithm that doesn't really want to promote videos that aren't hitting for their subscribers, which makes sense to any of you aspiring content creators out there. YouTube thinks, why would I recommend your videos to more people if not even your core follower base is interested in them? Because it gives YouTube the perception that you're not actually making interesting content, and you know, but there's a lot of things that go into it. Like usually watch duration is the highest factor, so you know, cutting intros, cutting outros, just starting when the action is in and ending when it's done without any extra stuff usually is something that YouTube likes, because if people watch like 90% of your video, then you know, they're like, oh nice, this is keeping their retention. This is giving Google more time to leech off of your information and sell it to private investors. I do have a master's degree in arts marketing, and I have actually researched how all this stuff works. So I'm not just BSing. That actually is how it works. Do your own research, obviously. Don't just take my word for it. But if you are the kind of person who just trusts somebody who has put lots of time into it, that's what I have found through my research. So today I'm making this barely edited rant about the state of where I'm at as a creator to tell anyone watching that this experience has totally actually freed me. Since moving to this new place, my life has actually drastically improved. Not that it was bad before, but I'm really hitting a great stride in life right now. I'm working out every day, I'm hanging out with friends, I am actually a circus person, I'm a fire performer, and I've been hanging out with a bunch of like-minded fire spinners in Portland. And it's been really amazing, and I've been spending a lot less time worrying about YouTube and the algorithm and all of this stuff and, you know, succeeding for the audience base that we have. And in this reflection, I realized that the reaction videos were fun because I was doing them with Alec, and that's what made it worthwhile. Alec being my brother, if you're not familiar. I love my brother, we have a great relationship, and our dynamic, I think, was even what made the show good, because we were bouncing off of each other, and he's such like a, I don't even know how to explain this. He's a very wide-eyed, optimistic guy, and I'm very optimistic too, but I am also very cynical at the same time. I like to say I'm realistic, but cynical, in contrast to him, it looks more cynical. And I have had a lot more experience with a lot of shenanigans in my life, and I've broken the law a lot more than he did in his youth. In my youth. Those days are over now. I'm a upstanding whatever. But doing this on my own, I don't really like it anymore. I feel like I'm faking these reactions. Like, here's the thing I'll edit. I don't actually act like this.
I have a mom?
Shouldn't she be here with everyone else?
My heart!
I can't even remember her face.
Okay. Maybe I do on my own a little bit sometimes, but generally speaking, I just watch stuff the way that anybody would when they're, you know, sitting alone, watching an anime or whatever, just nice. Haha. Emotion that's imperceptible if you're watching it from a third party. And honestly, it just feels like a drag to be stuck behind this computer doing so much editing work and doing so much on my own, when I really love just being outside and hanging out with my friends and doing all this stuff. So what does this mean for the future of the channel? Is this my I'm quitting YouTube video disguised, which so many YouTubers have been putting in these days? Hell no. I still really love making videos, and actually it's more so realizing that I want to make content that's actually making more of a statement and having more of my personality and saying things that I actually care about and reflect my values and interests as a human being, rather than just kind of being an open book for people to pretend to be friends with while we all watch cartoons together. And I don't mean that with any shade. I'm just saying, like, it's very parasocial to me. I have a super passion for the way that film and shows and animation communicate complex ideas that further cultural, spiritual, and intellectual growth in humans and people. And that was a weird way to say that, but you get me. And honestly, I feel like my last non-reaction videos were really good for what it's worth. And does this mean I'm not doing reactions anymore? yes, I'm not doing any more reactions. I'm not doing, even though I know they'll bring in a lot of views and they'll make us money, I'm not going to be reacting to any more Hell of a Boss. Steven Universe is over. Don't care about the new Fiona and Cake. Not doing any of it. We're done. We're done with reactions, and that is that. If you are someone who really is only subscribed to this channel to see reaction videos and you're not interested in anything else, anything that we have to say, any other videos that we're going to make, which is okay. That's not a judgment. There may be a little salt because I'm personally offended because I want you to love me, but I don't actually give a shit on the other hand. Then you should honestly probably take us out of your subscription feed because we're not really going to be making any videos that are going to interest you anymore. We're shifting. Things are changing, and you can expect to not see anything like that again. And even this video for me is something that I thought would be fun to make. I thought it'd be really enjoyable for me to actually talk about this experience that I've had with being a content creator and becoming somehow a reactor and my role in it. Because I think that reactions, people do have a lot of feelings about reactions and reaction content. And, you know, I'm obviously not talking about like the legality of it. I actually have a lot to say about that too, because low-key in American law, what's considered like transformative content is very vague. And a lot of reactors out there, I'm not pointing any fingers at specific people, but a lot of reactors out there really are not transforming anything, and they're just making minimal cuts. And legally, that might end them in some trouble someday. Or they might get their videos removed or something like that. I don't really want to contribute to that because I don't personally think it's good art. I think that if you're the kind of person to just, you know, barely cut something and just watch it, like, it's fine to do that if you're not making money. But if you're trying to make bank off it and become popular doing it, I think that it's kind of not fair to the content creators. Who am I to just sit there and laugh at a cartoon that was made for our enjoyment and somehow I'm the one banking off of it without sharing any of the funds? Like, at least share some of the money that you're making with the people who actually made the art. Now, I don't think it's the same for reviews because reviews are giving critical commentary, and some reactors do that. Some reactions are absolutely interesting and unique and fun, like Corridor Crew and the Smash guy I was talking about. But a lot of them aren't, and that's just the reality of the situation, and I don't feel like I was really doing that much to be that good myself, and I wasn't proud of the content that I was creating, so we're done. And honestly, the channel's going to change so much that I think that I'm going to either private or probably make members only the reaction series that we have on the channel. And I want to say that if you do want to continue watching them, if you're in the middle of one of our reaction series and you want to see how it goes, I hate to put it behind a paywall, and I'm not doing it yet, but just make sure that if you are still interested, stay subscribed to the channel and even hit the notification bell. I'm not trying to make a plug, but logistically, this is what you'll want to do because I'm going to make a community post about it, and I wouldn't want you to not know why your series that you're watching has been suddenly ripped out from the internet. I really want to make an identity change with this channel, and I think that the best way to do that is to stop how many views we still get from like the biggest reactions that we have. But I am still gonna leave a lot of videos still up. Some of them are like kind of reactions, like we did a hot sauce reaction to the Cuphead show. I might leave that one up just because it's actually kind of different. We did something fun for it. So some things I'll leave up if I found there was like some sort of artistic merit to it, but in general, most of them are going to be probably privated, or I'll make them members only so people can still see them for a little bit. And if this is a change that you are interested in and you are still wanting to see those, then you could become a member and make sure that you won't miss that when that happens. I imagine that the members are going to get like 1 million notifications on the day that I do that because we have a lot of videos I'll have to do it for, so apologies in advance. But honestly, this is not a negative video. This is not me saying woe is hate to anybody. This is just saying artistically I've been inspired to change the route of this and make this something new, and I feel like I'm going to be a lot more honest and put myself into it a lot more. And I'm going to tease that I'm actually trying to get my brother back here on the channel doing the podcast that we've been doing off the channel, Expedition Cartoon, which I think we might even rework the title, but I haven't totally sold him on it yet. So if you're somebody who misses my brother and the dynamic that we had, kind of like I do, honestly, let me know in the comments and let him know in the comments, because maybe we can kind of talk him into it together. You can find Expedition Cartoon anywhere that you find podcasts. But hopefully I'm going to be bringing that to the YouTube channel, so you don't even need to go anywhere else, because if you're like me, you don't have any other platforms than YouTube. YouTube is pretty much the one that you stick with. I don't even have Spotify, I have YouTube Music. And besides that, the future of this channel is just going to have videos that I'm interested in making and feel like making. And there's going to be no schedule. They'll come out when they're ready, and I'm going to spend time trying to make them good, which I didn't really do for this one. I just wanted it to be raw and the thoughts that I had, and, you know, this is what it is. So that's all I have for you today. I'm just going to leave you with a word of a little bit of hopefully inspiring advice for people who want to do YouTube or be a creator of some kind. And, you know, it sounds really cliche, but I think you really should do what you love and what you're really passionate about and makes you feel like passionate to be alive. Because succeeding in doing anything else really isn't worth it in comparison. And I didn't know that until I started making good money doing it inauthentically and doing it in a way that I was not really doing the content that I wanted to create, but doing what I thought would be good for the audience. And it did well, but I would really rather make, you know, some video of some topic that I'm interested in where I feel like I put my heart into it and I created something that I'm proud of, even if only 500 people see it instead of 5 million. I think that that is a lesson that I knew intellectually and I've heard a lot of people say, but it didn't actually make sense to me until I experienced it myself. God, I wasted a lot of time experiencing that, so if you don't have to, keep doing what you love. And that's all I'm going to say on that. I hope you all have an amazing day out there today, everybody. Go take some time outside, talk with your loved ones, live life to the fullest, okay? We're not going to be here forever. It's important to make the most of the time that you have. For fuck's sake, it's not going to last. So, peace, everyone. Much love, and I hope you will stick around to see what the future entails, because I think it's going to be great. Later.